So guys, Don Lemon has been released from, I don't want to say jail because he was detained. He was never charged or anything like that. So thank God for that. I still do think it's funny. I'm happy that he wasn't charged. I don't support him going into that church because if you look at the clip, some of the congregation members, they were so taken a bit back by the people just storming inside the building. They didn't know like who Don Lemon was, and I think it was because of fright. It can't be that Don Lemon was with CNN for so many years and so many people inside a church didn't know who he was. Someone had to have recognized him. But I believe what had happened was because of the noise and the energy that the protesters were giving off. I think the people were so confused, and he was like, no, I'm not with the rioters. I'm Don Lemon. I'm a journalist. He had to make that clear. So that within itself really shows you that I cannot appreciate him going into that church. If it was outside the pastor's home, like what Candace Owens did with that Black Lives Matter, was she the CEO or something like that? And Candace Owens went outside her home with the media asking her to come out. If it was something like that, I could definitely understand, and I would not have any problems with it once they didn't charge inside the person's home. But Don Lemon has been released from jail after he spent a night in federal custody. A judge ordered his release on his own recognizance following charges tied to the alleged interfering with a religious service during an ICE protest in Minnesota. He strongly denied any wrongdoing and vowed to continue his work as an independent journalist. Definitely, we want to see Don Lemon thrive. We want to see him succeed out here. It doesn't matter the difference that he has with Nicki Minaj. I definitely support him as a journalist, and he has always been a really good journalist. I believe in journalism, but I believe that there's too many, throughout history, there has been far too many disrespect towards other people, religious beliefs. I believe that people should respect people's religious beliefs and respect their place of worship once it's not a cult, that is. But kudos to Don Lemon for being out. Kudos to the judge for not following that woman. I can't stand her. What's her name? I can't stand her. Honestly, I can't. But kudos to the judge for not charging him on that. But I hope there's no repeat of that. And people, stay out of the churches. You want to riot? Wait until the church service is over. Find the pastor's home, because remember, the pastor will always have to live in that neighborhood, and his neighbors are going to always be like, so you were a part of HICE all this time, right? Congregation members, you can't tell them anything about their pastor. Some of them are like, no disrespect, because I grew up in the church and I've seen it. Some congregation members are they see their pastors as God. You can't tell them their pastor can actually commit murder in front of them, and they will use the Bible and said God told the pastor to do it. It happened here in Jamaica. There was a cult pastor, Kevin Smith. You guys can look it up. It was one heck of a thing. You see, psychology is real, and that man went to he did necromancy. He went to college for it, as a matter of fact. So he was doing rituals and a lot of stuff in his church, and he had people's life insurance, and the girl that he killed, the life insurance was in his name, but he died after because he was locked up, and he died while in police custody. The car overturned while they were transporting him, and I think 1 or 2 police officers died, but he basically said that was the day. The way in which he was talking inside the station, those police should not have transported him. And this is why it's important for people to understand that some people are really involved in darkness out here, because if those police officers did understand what he was saying, because after we saw the clip, after their deaths, we were like, why did you guys, move him on that day? Why didn't you get a pastor involved and all of that? But it was just sad to see it's gone. But that man will forever remain in history in Jamaica, because what he did, very ugly. So I'm just saying that to say some church people are blinded by their pastor. You can't tell them nothing about their pastor. But their neighbors, their neighbors is where it's at. Their neighbors will never ever forget, okay? So I would say next time, go to the house, stay outside, don't charge into his home, don't throw stones into his home, because many of these people, they'll fire back at you, and you don't want anything like that happening to you. But Don Lemon is out, and that's the most important thing. Still funny, and still not funny, right? But that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Peace.